TB12 story, I completely forgot how this thing began. Got a chance to watch Man in the Arena last night on ESPN Plus. I guess it wasn't supposed to go live until 9, but they accidentally put it live at midnight last night, so we could have watched it before yesterday's show.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Nice.
I think we could. I did not know that either. I actually got a call from Connor, and Connor said, "Hey, it's up on ESPN Plus right now." And I think Connor might have done a little searching around on the internet to find out it's been up since midnight last night or whatever. So maybe ESPN Plus did that on purpose. Like, hey, let's just go ahead and get this out here whenever you want to get it. I was incredibly impressed with the way it's going to be done, I think. Now, mocking the like the still shot, the still frame that they used for the Man in the Arena, and then they had that guy who was presented by Under Armour, whatever that photo. It is just a still shot of a motion graphic. That is why Tom looks that way. So that was interesting that is what they chose to have, be the title, picture, basically, the face of it all. But that story, I did not remember. And obviously I was very young, 14, 13 years old. I lived in Pittsburgh, a city that hated New England, just like every other city basically that had to play against New England on a regular basis or got in the way there. I thought Drew Bledsoe died, on the field, which that shot, looking at it again, I mean, that was a square, awkward shot.
Crushed.
I mean, just absolutely crushed. I thought in my head, Drew Bledsoe dies, Tom Brady comes in, wins that game, and never looks back. Yeah. I had no idea that Drew Bledsoe had to come back in like 5-6 weeks. He had internal bleeding, and then he gets all the way back. He's a $103 million quarterback for the New England Patriots, the future of the New England Patriots, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL at that time. Yeah. And then Bill Belichick's like, nah, I'm going to stick with Tom Brady, who has not done that great, by the way. He won a couple games, lost a couple games. It wasn't like that. Bill Belichick made a decision to go with the young guy as opposed to the person that they just paid the biggest. I didn't know that happened. If that was happening in the middle of this social media world that we're in, it would have been so absurd, the things that are being said. Because I think Bill Belichick would have been buried for picking Tom over Drew Bledsoe, especially when Drew Bledsoe came back in relief of Tom in the AFC Championship game, wins them that game, and then the Super Bowl 2 weeks later, Tom, is he healthy? His ankle, is he healthy? It wasn't until Tuesday night of Super Bowl week that they found out who was the starting fucking quarterback for a Super Bowl team. It was insane. Now, I thought the way they covered it, Vinatieri obviously hit two of the best balls in the history of football in that particular season. I mean, the snow game, and then obviously the Super Bowl winner. But taking a dive back into that whole story, I didn't remember it like that at all. I did not know how that was. That's insane to think about. And I assume that's why Bill Belichick forever thought, hey, Tommy, remember what I did for you 25 years ago?
You remember.
You shut the fuck up, all right? I make the right decisions around here. You just play. You could see how that maybe became the way that relationship was built, because the amount of faith that Bill had in Tom in that year, that I guess it was his second year in the league or third year in the league out of Michigan. Insane. What were your thoughts as a Patriots fan?
I mean, as a Patriots fan, it was unbelievable, obviously. I mean, that's just Pat's porn, and it's going to be for the first probably 8 episodes till Tampa. Watching the game and how it was played then, like that hit on Bledsoe, it was so much better. And granted, probably safety-wise, it wasn't.
Yeah, not as healthy future.
Of course,
right.
But the hits that they were showing were unbelievable.
Slow, by the way.
Yeah, very slow. And also, I thought it was, I don't remember this either, but his first game being against the Colts and Peyton Manning, Brady's first starting game, which was insane. And Parcells goes to the Super Bowl and then leaves. Could you imagine that today, too?
Yeah, and they were talking about this is probably his last game. He's going to go coach somewhere else. Like completely different time. And also even the little things. Patriots are playing the Falcons, and they were showing the ball. The entire top of the stadium was empty.
Oh, yeah. Gillette?
The entire top of the stadium was, no, it was in Atlanta.
It was in Atlanta. Gillette Stadium.
But then also, there was empty seats everywhere. And I'm like, the NFL has to watch this and think, we have come so far business-wise. We have captivated the world. 22.5 million people allegedly watched the Seattle Seahawks-Packers game on Sunday. I wonder what those numbers were back in the day. The game, the NFL, has just evolved so much. And there's been one person that has been through it all.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm still fucking doing it.
Yeah.
It's literally how
Unreal.
episode 1 ended last night, was Tom Brady saying, yeah, it's been crazy and I'm still fucking doing it, and then going in the next one. I think it's going to be amazing. Tone, yesterday you said you don't want to watch it because you don't want to like Tom.
Yeah.
Did you watch it, and do you like Tom?
I'm a big let other people watch first and then tell me if I should watch it. So I'll watch it now because you guys said it was good.
Hey, it's going to be hard not to love him. He does
Yeah.
seem to come from like the classic rich white family, but the hard work, like the backup and the dream and the team mantra that he has. And, we've seen these interviews in the past, but there's a lot from him as a younger person, like high schooler. Him saying, I think I have a pretty good work ethic, so that'll be good or whatever.
I need to get faster.
Hey, you don't. I need to get faster. That needs to happen, but I think you will like him a lot more, and that seems to happen anytime you learn something about somebody.
But my question is, because I don't remember exactly at the time, was it Bill who paid Drew? Or was Drew paid by somebody else, and then this was an opportunity for Bill to be like...
So Bill was a part of the team.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick was a part of the team. He was the defense coordinator or secondaries coach or something like that. And Parcells was the head coach. And I think Parcells' era paid Drew.
Gotcha.
Then Pete Carroll was in between, and he was terrible, I guess, for 2 years. And then Belichick comes in, and now he's the guy. So I think he was still a part of the Drew. Did you watch The Man in the Arena, episode 1 yesterday? Presented by Under
Was it good?
Armour. Huh?
I haven't seen it yet. Was it good?
Yes, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Willie McGinnis was in there talking a little bit. Drew Bledsoe did some acting in it and some talking in it. I mean, that was some interesting moments. But going back into the story of how it all began for Tom, I didn't remember that. I didn't know that. And it's like,
What year did this happen?
2001 or 96? I don't remember which one.
96 is when Bledsoe was drafted 1 overall. Brady was drafted in 2000, and the year that he came in was 2001.
Okay, yeah, because they do a couple different years, and I think Bledsoe, and I don't know when he signed the biggest contract in the history of the NFL for a $103 million deal over 10 years. I think it might have been 2000, I guess maybe a year before when Pete Carroll was, I don't know. Bill Belichick making the decision for Tom Brady whenever Drew Bledsoe was willing and able to play and had just won them the AFC Championship and was the highest paid guy and had won in the past, so it was supposed to be the future. Bill Belichick saying, I'm going with Brady, and you just need to shut the fuck up, basically, to Drew Bledsoe. And to Drew Bledsoe's credit, it did not seem like he was that much of a cancer to the situation, which would be very understandable, by the way. Although if his interviews were done nowadays that they showed last night, oh my God, social media would have called Drew Bledsoe a distraction. They would have said that Bill Belichick has a split locker room and they're not going to be able to do it. There would have been so many distractions with the way everything is covered now, as if it's a fishbowl. You zoomed in on everything. That story, though, I didn't recall it going the way it did. A lot of people are going to love Tom Brady after watching this, I think, and feel bad for Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
I think that is just episode 1 in my eyes.
Yeah, would they show when Bledsoe got blasted and then he's hurt, but then Bledsoe had to step in what game and actually win a game for him in the playoffs?
AFC Championship.
That's right. What happened to Tom there?
Tom sprained his ankle. Yeah, it's a pretty bad tackle, actually. He goes down like this. Drew Bledsoe comes in, throws 2 touchdowns. I mean, it would have been so loud. And they weren't supposed to win. It was against the Steelers, right? Yeah, it was against the Steelers. Weren't supposed to win. Not supposed to do this whole thing. Bledsoe comes in, dominates, and then everybody just assumes, okay, now it's Bledsoe's time. And Belichick was like, no, let's see how this ankle gets on this guy. This seems like this is going to be my guy or whatever. And I honestly believe that is how the Tom-Bill relationship became the way it became 20 years later, because I think Bill Belichick always viewed Tom as, hey, I was your guy. Like, I picked you over $100 million dude. And I'd assume that is why Tom, you'll never hear him publicly saying anything about Bill, even though there's always going to be the chance for those stories,
Yeah, it is weird to see. Like, there's not really a comparable situation, is there, where a guy was a legit vet, like you said, highest paid guy, and a 6th round pick gets put in for him, 7th round, whatever Tom was.
Yeah, 199. He was late in there.